A little while back, I did a live stream on content for authority sites or niche sites. I mean, really an authority site is just a niche site that has grown up and people have other definitions on what it means. But anyway, the point is I did a live stream on improving content and just a way to look at content and execute content sprints for sites that you want to publish a lot of content. I know a lot of people have trouble with content, hiring writers that will show up again and again and work for you for reasonable rates. And some people even try to hire services that end up failing them. So in this video, in this live stream, a rebroadcast is what this is, I'm going to go over a couple key tips that should be helpful for you.
Talk about just two tips on content, and they're going to be using project management ideas, agile project management ideas. And by the way, this applies really for any kind of affiliate site. I think Amazon affiliate sites are probably the most applicable, but when you take a step back, you can apply this to really any kind of content. It kind of depends on exactly what you're working on, but I know the second one, which is continuous improvement, actually can apply to anything. If you're on live, give me a shout, say what's up. A couple things, I'm gonna keep this fairly short. I'm gonna make this tight. We're not gonna ramble on with a bunch of questions that are unrelated. If you have those type of questions, Friday I do a Q&A, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. So this is kind of a different time than when I would normally do a live stream, but I just got back from the gym and I thought, hey, I'll do a quick live stream because it's so bright out in this main room here. I may join my dog Georgie on the floor. I see we have Mads, we have Daniel and Isaac. What's up? We're gonna talk about this content stuff for authority sites, for niche sites. We have Dilhan as well. And basically, here's the deal. One of the most common questions I get from people that are just starting a site is around how much content they need. Someone pinged me on one of the other videos and they said, I want to launch a site with 50 pieces of content. Is that okay? Sure, you can do whatever you want, basically. You could launch with 5 pieces of content, or like 50 or 500 pieces of content. Is totally up to you. However, the flaw in that specific question is, what's the goal? Like, what is the person trying to do? Launch with the minimum amount of content because they don't have too much money, or some other thing. So you have to understand your goal and what defines success. For me, and what I teach, it's usually about launching quickly, launching so you can get quick wins, and proving the concept, right? Most people in the world don't know what affiliate marketing is, and most people have no idea what Amazon affiliate marketing is either. So when if someone's like, hey, you need 50 keywords and you need to launch with 100 pieces of content or whatever, most people are never going to be able to do that, right? Most people will quit because they're not making any money really early. So my approach is one of an agile project management idea, and that is to launch, quickly get the smallest shippable piece of product and asset as quickly as possible. And that really means you need to launch with the bare minimum and then start getting traffic as soon as possible. You also need to be accepted by the Amazon affiliate program, which is Amazon Associates. So I say launch with 10 pieces of content. And I made notes. So launch with 10 pieces of content. That is the minimum. 50% should be oriented towards basically informational, and then the other 50% could be review content. And by the way, I'm Doug Cunnington. I'm the founder of Niche Site Project. I talk about Amazon affiliate sites, productivity, and project management too. I have a PMP certification, and that's what I used to do for my corporate job before I got laid off. Now, quick note before we go on to step 2 is I put a playlist in the description. Check out the playlist for more content. So I'm telling you about you know, the plan of content. But when it comes down to it, you have to understand, you know, what to put in the content. If you haven't created much content or you want to improve it or just take a different approach, there's a playlist where I step through the FAQ method and RPM, which are two outlining methods to come up with content. And it's the way I do content. It's very straightforward, very easy to implement. And it's something where you could like write an outline in, you know, a few minutes and then send it to a writer to write. Or if you're writing it yourself, then you have something to work from. It's much easier to do that than to start from, you know, blank page. And I see we do have a couple other people on, and Dilhan and Mad says, thanks for creating great informative content. Oh, thank you for watching. Appreciate that. And then Lacey Meg says, I'm live. I'm live right now. It's so late. Yeah, I thought during this content push in February, I was like, can I push the limits and post even more? So I'm posting like, you know, a lot. If you're subscribed, which is probably why you're on here, you know that I've been posting a lot and hopefully good stuff that you're enjoying. So I may do some afternoon stuff, hit different time zones and all that. Gregory in Glasgow, what's up? Good to have you on. Bird and Lace Mags is Melissa. I'll try to remember that. Thank you for letting me know. That's a good little, it's an egg, so that's fun. Okay. The second, and probably maybe like the more universal, I'm gonna move to hang out with Georgie, the dog here. Let's see if this is gonna work here. Switch the camera, and that's a bit of a mess. Got some stuff going on here. There's Georgie. I'll sit with Georgie down here. All right, let me turn this camera back around here so I can kind of see what's going on, and there's the instruments back there. All right, Georgie, what a good dog. She's like, why are you ignoring me? So with the continuous improvement, so step number one, so we got like 15 people on What's Up. And the thing is, it's gonna be hard for me and Georgie to be in the frame. So she's more critical than me. I'll just try and poke my head. I'll have to lay on the floor too. All right, here's the deal. Step number one was really around launching with a minimum amount of content and then moving forward. You wanna make your first dollars and again, most people, she's like, come on, dude, pay attention. So you wanna make your first dollars as quickly as possible to prove the concept, right? And then after that, you'll want to improve the content, because if you're launching as quickly as you can, you may not have like the perfect quality. Everything's not going to be perfect. So what you're going to want to do, Georgie, are you paying attention? You want to be on camera or what? So the thing is, you're going to publish content. You're going to publish content that's maybe like 800 or 1,000 words long, right? So you're going to launch quick. You're going to get the bare minimum out there. You're hopefully going to start getting some traffic in, and then you're going to see what gets traction, and you're going to pour gas in the fire, right? So if you have one post that is, say, keyword golden ratio compliant, right? If you don't know what that is, look it up. Should be able to find a video on it. And what you'll want to do is go to the post or posts that are ranking the highest. So if you have something that's ranking number 2, go to that post and double the content, triple the content, 4x it, whatever. Add more content to it. You can do this in a couple ways. You can add more products to the review. You can make the mini reviews more thorough. You can say add more images. You can do a lot of things to make it a better post and more informative. Again, go reference the playlist that I mentioned below. So check out that playlist. It goes over the RPM and the FAQ method. Georgie is the star here, and she's a really good dog. So there's nothing I can really do here. So you really don't need to see me much here. This hopefully can funnel you to the playlist below that'll give you more ideas. So if you're just joining, and I know we have several people that hopped in, this is about content, even though there's a dog laying on her back here trying to get all the attention here. Georgie's quite the star here, but if you launch with 10 pieces of content, 50% informational, 50% product reviews, then you're good to go. Then once and by the way, step 2, the continuous improvement, that's like key project management, like across the board, right? When I worked in a corporate setting, we launched projects all the time. When I was managing projects actively, I had maybe 4 to 6 or 8 projects depending on what was going on, and we used the same methodology, Georgie, all the time, right? And we would meet after. Like, part of the project process is to meet after with the project team and find out what went well and what needed to be improved. And I see the viewers are going up, so I think this dog stuff is really working out. So yes, that's right. That's right. So once you figure out what's working and what's not working, then you're able to do more of the good stuff, do less of the bad stuff, and you're able to recreate it. So the point is, continuous improvement is key project management stuff, and there's no reason you can't go back. I think there are SEO folks writing about this now, where it's just like, you have content that's doing well, we'll go back and make it better, do research and find out what's going on, find out what you could do to make it better. All right, so what questions do we have? Again, I'm gonna try and make it kind of tight today. As you can see, I got this lady over here trying to get some attention. So, let's see, I've lost my spot here. But yeah, I'll field a couple questions here just as well as I can. She's making it quite awkward as far as the positioning goes. So yeah, Melissa is into the dogs here. All right. So AGILE, I'll just say that. You want to know what's the minimum budget to start with. Basically, you need hosting. You need hosting, and everything else can be free. So however cheap you can get reasonable hosting, and I'm going to say, probably $80 for 1 year of hosting, something like that, $80 US. But, you can technically get cheaper hosting, but it's probably not worth it to sacrifice maybe the customer service, the uptime, the quality, and stuff like that. So you're most likely better off just paying, a reasonable amount, a fair amount. If you want to buy a premium theme, you may have to pay, $30, $50, $100 for that. You don't need a premium theme though. You could use a free theme. So basically, Georgie's like, come on, Dad. Dude, nobody cares about this content. Hamming it up. All right, back to it. All right, Sheik is asking a question. Is Upwork the best place to get articles at a reasonable price? Okay, so I don't know. I use Upwork. If your goal is to get the cheapest price, but you don't care about the quality, then you probably can get it somewhere else. You're gonna find, high prices on Upwork. You're gonna find low prices on Upwork. If you work with a service, you may or may not get high quality. You may end up with some issues as far as delivery or whatever, but you have to test things out. I like Upwork. I like the protection you get with Upwork, and I find great writers there. Okay, and Gregory says, okay, this is a good question. Have I ever used WooZone plugin on WordPress? If so, do you rate it? Okay, here's the deal. I've never used that stuff. You may have seen my pretty good friend Alex Cooper over on WP Eagle. He's a WordPress guy, and he knows like WooZone and Woo things. I've never used it. I think it's completely unnecessary, and I think, you know, I need to connect with Alex. We were going to debate because basically I think it's probably a waste of time. However, right, Alex has had great success with it. And he has case studies and reference points where people are launching sites. There's hardly any content and they're making money. Now, my thought is, Greg, if I may call you Greg, Greg, I think if you use my content ideas on top of WooZone, well, then you got something kind of interesting, right? You're combining two viable options, and you know, 1 + 1 equals like 2.5 in that case, maybe. Because I think if you have the WooZone stuff, I mean, if you're just using it as sort of like a marketplace look, then it's not super helpful. So, all right, any final questions before we get out of here? And final thing here, I'm gonna pop back up here. So the thing is, oh, we got massive questions coming in. All right, here's the deal. If you're watching now or if you're catching the replay, be sure to look in the description. The playlist is awesome. Some very tight content. It is some of my newer content where I don't ramble on quite as much. It's not live, so I get to the point a little faster. So I recommend you check out the playlist below, save it, do whatever you need to. Make sure you get to that playlist. That will solve 80% of your content problems. All right, and I do see the questions, so let's see what we got here. Greg says, so let me get this right. You're doing this manually via posting on a blog. Yes, that is right. That's right. My whole thing is around content and organic SEO, and my hunch, right? So I've never done the WooCommerce route. My hunch is if you don't have much content, you're not getting much SEO traffic. Can you get some SEO traffic? Sure. I'm not trying to get some though. I'm trying to get just a lot of traffic. You need a lot of traffic if you're going to make a serious amount of money. So that's sort of the route that I would take. Now, there's no reason you can't, again, combine the two ideas. You end up with something a little bit more interesting. Bird says, do I think the KGR would work well with a multi-niche site? I don't know. Give it a try. Generally, you're probably gonna need to niche down first, and then you can expand. If you just have like a bunch of random stuff all over the place, you may get a little success. You may, sort of have some SEO traffic coming in. But if you just have a bunch of random stuff going on, like Google is not going to know what you're relevant in. So that'll end up being a problem. And Melissa says, me and Brian Dean and Neil Patel introduced you to White Hat. Oh, cool. I don't know if I should be in the same company as those guys, but thanks. I will take it. I will definitely take it. Shannon says, what if you're listing a lot of products on your site? Wouldn't it be better to have an app that updates the prices for you? So Shannon, it goes back to the core question of, what's your goal? What are you trying to do? So if you're trying to, if your goal is to have a lot of products with a lot of listings with the prices, then sure, yeah, what you said is better. I'm not trying to do either one of those things. So, and I'm not saying my way is the right way. I'm just saying my way is the way that I'm doing it. And that's the only part that I can talk about, and I can talk about results, and I can show you other people's results that I've also taught. And I believe it works. I don't think it's the best way. It's just my way. So just keep that in mind. So if you want to list prices, if you want to have a lot of products and all that stuff, go for it. Do it. Let me know how it works out. Would love to feature you as a success story, right? I have no idea if it works. My advice, if you want to go that route, is to follow people like Alex, perhaps. Again, WP Eagle, great guy. We've been on each other's channels and stuff, or at least I've been on his. I need to set up something with Alex, by the way. But the thing is, one needs to understand the goal and then implement it. You should have like a model in mind when you start. You should have the end goal in mind, If you're just trying to do like random stuff, then, and I'm not saying you are, but if you're just trying to do random stuff, it's going to be kind of a mess. All right. And I'm going to, if your question is not relevant to the topic today, I'm just going to answer it super fast. So nothing personal, just I got to go for a walk while the sun's still shining out here. Georgie wants to play fetch real bad. So here's the deal. The best way to get traffic with a low investment, I'm assuming you mean an investment of money. So I'm going to say put in time and get backlinks. All right. If you want more information on how to get backlinks, you'll need to actually have a playlist on SEO, outreach, and getting backlinks. So check that one out. Greg says you were thinking of doing both WooCommerce for products and blogs for organic. You like the idea. Whether it works, time will tell. But the organic blog and SEO traffic sounds great. Sure. Yeah, glad to help. And I think, I mean, the thing is, like, if you are just listing the product information on a site, there's like no unique anything about it, right? No one can get additional value from it unless you put more information in there, right? So if you're not putting more information, if you're just pulling it, why would someone go to your site? How would they even accidentally get there? How would they go there on purpose? Like, I just don't understand the model. So if you have traffic from another source, sure. But I mean, if you know how to get traffic from another source, then, I mean, then you don't need me. So, all right, cool. And Daniel says, what's up, Daniel? Your first step should be using the KGR to rank and get traffic. There's not much ROI from the marketplace style unless you write SEO optimized descriptions for all your products. That is much appreciated. That's a well said. And yeah, so if you don't write optimized descriptions, then you're kind of just, it's a commodity, right? Like, someone could go to Amazon and get more information from the reviews on there. So cool. And Melissa says, I'm awesome and authentic. Thanks. Appreciate that. And Shannon, you got it. All right. Couple more questions here. And by the way, if I've answered your question, I will trouble you to specifically ask to give a thumbs up. Can you hit the like button? Would really appreciate it. Hasib says, you're thinking to post 80% affiliate content and 20% info, like 10 to 20, and you're going right. So Hasib, do this. Once we finish this, rewind to the beginning, and that's where I tell you 50%, and then you only need to do like 10 blog posts. So don't kill yourself. 60 to 80 posts is a lot. Here's the deal. If I gave you all the keywords and I gave you unlimited budget, most people would still struggle to publish that much content. Why is that? Why would you still struggle if you have unlimited budget, you have all the keywords, if I give you hosting, if I give you all that stuff, it's still not easy, right? You have to get, that many posts published. You have to maybe hire writers, right? How are you going to hire writers? Even if you hire a service, like, there may be a little training, there may be a little handoff stuff going on. I mean, if I challenged you and I was like, hey, publish 80 posts in a month and you can have whatever budget you want, figure it out. It's not easy. So don't launch with that much. It's way too much. All right. So Hasib, are you doing it right? Again, most of the answers to these questions are, you have my blessing. You could do whatever you want. Will it work? Maybe, probably. It can work. However you want to do it, right? My advice, don't do so much affiliate content. Don't publish so much off the bat. Guitar picks, I probably hear this a lot. How long does it take to rank? Again, if these questions are not related, I'm just going to answer as fast as I can. Nothing personal. Come on Friday. I do a live Q&A on Friday, 10 a.m. I may insert some of these questions in because, I mean, they're pretty good. So how long does it take to rank and get traffic? All right. If you follow my method, right, this is in 5-figure niche site. This is my premium course. You can't enroll right now, but it's out there. I just want to plant the seed in your mind. So, and by the way, guitar picks. What kind of guitar? You see a guitar, banjo, and ook back there. What kind of guitar is your go-to axe? I'm not very good, but I do like to play. All right. You can get traffic in as little as a few weeks, and you will slowly grow. When you hit 6 months, I would expect plus or minus a month or two, you're probably going to hit, $100. You should hit $100 per month in about 6 months or so. After that, in a year, it could be $900 or it could be $2,800, right? It escalates quickly when you hit, the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-month mark. Okay. Mike says, you looked at my tear down videos. Cool. Thanks for watching those. It seems like going broad is best. Like, thank your sense. So would a niche like stress relief be good? So here's the deal. Broad, you should go broad in your branding, but you should go narrow when you start your site. You should be very narrow and focused on, 1 or 2 products so that you can do well in that area. You kind of want to learn things and do things right initially. So would stress relief be good? One must do the keyword research and the competition analysis and a few other things. But I would say, without doing any of that stuff and not knowing much else aside from everyone has stress, is, yeah, it seems reasonable. There's a lot of products on it. So yeah, go for it. Bird, you're welcome. And Mike says you write for text brokers, so this would be easy. Awesome, good to hear. Who would I recommend for learning how to write good content? Charles. I recommend myself. I will, part of this video, this live stream was to get people to watch the playlist that's in the description below or however you're watching, but it's in the description. There's some ideas about how to start outlining your content. And if you can outline it well, it'll be well thought out and organized. The continuous improvement idea, number 2 that I mentioned, is something that will, be helpful when you write the content. So you write the outline, you write the content, and then you go back and edit it. You continuously improve it. And through that, you don't have to have it perfect. You can publish it, you can launch it, and then move forward, right? You can always go back and improve it. Guitar Pick says, article spinning, is it any good? Don't do it. That's a terrible idea. It doesn't make, whenever you're trying to do something, don't try and take any shortcuts. If you're taking a shortcut, it's going to be an issue somewhere. I don't know, where specifically. I encourage people to disagree and debate me on that. But basically anywhere in life, if you're like, oh, I'm going to try and take a shortcut on something, it's going to bite you in the ass. You're probably better off doing things slower. What's the rush? All right, and Tay said you made it to a live video. Awesome, yeah. Is this a better time for you? Let me know in the chat or in the comments. Is this sort of later time of day a better time? I was just gonna do 10 minutes, but we're pushing 27 minutes. I'm gonna have to leave here in a second, so I'm just gonna blast through these. Things are good, Taze. Thank you for the support. You're talking about paid traffic. If you're a paid traffic expert, then maybe you could do it. If you need to have high margins to make paid traffic work. Amazon doesn't have high margins, so you need to be a badass with ads. So if you're thinking that you're gonna do this, it's probably not gonna work. And Homesteading says you made it to a live stream. Welcome. Guitar Picks is a Mexican strat. That is the axe of choice. Okay. Taze says you're learning. What's the difference between an authority site or a niche site? There's no difference. It's all branding. Think of it this way. Actually, I did a whole video on this, by the way. It's going to be coming out in a week, I think. So it'll be a little bit more thorough and a little bit more thought out. But they're the same thing in my eyes. If someone looked at my sites, they would just say, oh, those are authority sites. There's no question about it. There's email lists. There's a ton of content. It's really well written. It's long form content. But you could think of an authority site as a niche site that's grown up. So if it's grown up, it's a little bit more mature, but everything starts as a niche site, right? So even if you plan on building like a huge site, or if you're looking at the Wirecutter when it first launched, it's a niche site, right? Okay. All right, Melissa's out. Hasib, okay. I'm gonna answer all the questions, but I'm just gonna answer super quick. As I said, don't do so much affiliate content. Your site is 5 months old with 17 blog posts and 70% affiliate content. Okay, Asib, I'm gonna be a little hard on you. Just to add more of the info content, like do the math and add more, right? So if it's 70%, then add like 15 more posts of info content, and that gets you closer. All right. In guitar picks, there's no automatic or manual article spinning. Not good. Don't do it. And Daniel was mentioning that article spinning is a variation of plagiarism. You're just plagiarizing from multiple sources. The problem is, like, if you're not doing something to like make the internet better, probably eventually not going to be good. Wallace is asking about using an expired domain with good metrics to get going faster. Pros and cons. Pros, you can get started faster. You can virtually skip the sandbox. The cons are if you get a bad domain that has some penalties or some issues or something like that, then you may end up never ranking and just wasting a lot of time. So I wouldn't get an expired domain. I would get one from an auction. Okay, guitar picks. Okay, cool. You were just clarifying on the last bit of the automating. Hey, Georgie, come here. We'll go out in a second. Here, come say hello one more time. Here, come here, girl. And then the plugins, don't worry about it. Plugins don't matter that much. So I don't care about plugins. I try and use as few as possible. On one of my sites, I have it down to about 8 plugins. And half of them are like security. All right, and Isla says the video number 6 is private. You'll watch. Okay, cool. So again, just a reminder, the playlist is awesome, so please check it out. The last video hasn't published yet, so I think it comes out in a few days. Guitar Pick says you're confused where you get content. You write it. You write the content or somebody else writes it. Where all writing comes from, from someone's mind. And I'm sorry, I'm not sure. I guess like I don't understand the context of your question. So it sounds like, yeah, I'm not sure what you're asking exactly. Auto posting plugins, no. How hard is it to clean up an expired domain? You know what? Yeah, Bosco, ask on Friday, but I mean, you're better off like, usually, I mean, if you look and you know how to get an expired domain, then it's fine. And let's see, guitar picks. Yeah, you just need to, yeah, you make it up. I mean, like you watch like the first couple videos in that playlist in the description, particularly the FAQ method, and you should be good to go. I mean, it's usually, yeah, watch the video, the FAQ method, it'll be perfect for you, guitar. And Daniel has, I'll just mention this great tip here. Post a job on Upwork for a writer at the desired price. Watch people apply. It's a lot of fun for the first time. Ask for writing samples before hiring. Well said. And Max is asking one last question. This is the last question that I'm heading out. All right. Do I have it? All right. Max says, do you have or how do you build using anchor text ratio? Is it a mashup of branded, naked, and partial match and generic anchor text? Yes, that is exactly it. Wallace says, do you have a template layout for help or useful content for monetization that you go by? Yep, looking for the perfect Amazon review. That is the monetization style of an article. As far as helpful, you could write it in any format you want. It literally doesn't matter. So, all right, I'm out of here, and I'll just finally say, Shannon 2 is asking about Web 2.0. That's a shortcut, man. Don't do it. It's not going to help you. It's garbage. All right, I'm out of here. Say goodbye to Georgie. Georgie, you're a good dog. All right, again, if I answered any of your questions, please hit the like button, say what's up, and we'll catch you. Actually, there'll be a live stream in the morning, and there's going to be a live stream on Friday. Maybe I'll do some afternoon ones. Let me know in the comments if you watch this whole thing. Tell me in the comments, do you like this later stuff later in the day? It looks like we got a whole different crew of folks. We got Furhan on too. What's up? One of my kind moderators. All right, we'll see you later. Appreciate all the support.